Right, I can text you back a bit. Hey, listen to this. Hey, come and have a blowout, kid.
Aye, in a minute.
Well, your tea's getting cold.
By gum, if the health man sees this lot, we'll get 6 months.
Oh, sit yourself down and stop worrying, will you?
All right, shove up then.
But when I finish my tea, I'll get stuck in, and I'll soon get rid of this lot.
You've been threatening to do that all morning.
I'm surprised at you, Hilda.
I'm surprised at myself.
Your lack of confidence. Don't you realise this all represents money?
Does it?
Ah, you're sitting knee-deep in pound notes, you don't realise it. It's all here. I've been reading about it.
What's all here?
Listen to this. Conference on waste. 2/3 of the paper last year came from waste. There you are, you see. Where there's muck, there's money.
Money? You've not made one bent penny since you started. Go on, what else does it say?
40,000 pigs feed on waste.
Pigs? Here, you're never thinking of raising pigs in my backyard, are you?
Hold your sweat, will you? I want to tell you what it says in here.
Oh. Home Guard disbands without fuss or ceremony. Home Guard? Here, how old is that paper?
Manchester Guardian, January the 11th, 1946.
Oh, I thought as much. Fat lot of use that is.
It takes you back, doesn't it? Hey, listen to this. Tyrone Power in Blood and Sand at the Gaiety. Next week, Fred McMurray in Where Do We Go From Here?
That's a good question.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Oh, 1946. You still in Glasshouse and our Irma running round striking in wet nappies.
Hey, pubs closed through shortage of beer. Yeah, I remember that. Went on for months. It were worse than Dunkirk.
Blood and Sand, I think I saw that. He were a bullfighter or something, weren't he?
Here's something you don't see very often these days.
What's that?
Manchester City win again. Constantine scores to win 1-0.
Oh, aye, well, come on, Chuck. Let's get stuck in and get this lot cleared up, eh?
I haven't finished my tea yet.
Well, hurry up, love. Might start raining a bit.
Why, it might.
Now then, shall I fill the sacks and you stack them, or will you fill them and I'll stack them?
Hey, do you know something?
What?
Did you get me any fags in the house?
Oh, I thought you got some.
No, I haven't got any ready. Anyway, it's all right. I'll do without.
You've got a din pot mantelpiece, haven't you?
No, I smoked it. I'll do without till this afternoon. Well, where do we start then, eh?
Would you like me to run round to Florrie Lindley's and get you some?
Oh, no, love. You've done enough running about for one day.
Oh, I don't mind, love.
No, look, I tell you what. I'll nip down there. It'll save your legs. Only a couple of minutes. Where's your purse?
On the dresser.
Shan't be long.
I must be balmy. Ken! Ken, your dinner's out.
Hello, which side of the door was it one of those shelves put in?
Oh, nothing, Ken.
No, left side, does it?
Leave it. Come and get
Left
your
side?
dinner. Over the cupboard.
Oh, thank heavens for that. Where's Dave?
Oh, he's upstairs getting ready.
Oh, how far does he?
Yeah, he said something about going out with the lads from the engineering place he used to work at.
Oh.
Well, why not? It's better than sitting around here moping all day. Come on and get your dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner's out.
Hey, Val, do you like this tie?
Oh, it's all right.
Hey, kid, does this tie go with this suit?
Hmm. Where are you going?
Oh, town pictures. Meeting some of the lads I used to work with. Do you like the shoes?
You?
Yeah, got them this morning.
What is it?
It's a Prezi. Oh, it's just something I picked up in the shops this morning.
Oh, gloves.
Do you like them?
Oh, they're lovely, aren't they, Ken?
Hmm.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Just what I wanted.
Great. Not finished those shows yet, kid?
Not yet, no.
No, he never was much good with his hands, our kid. He was marvellous with his brains, you know, anything like book learning and that. When it comes to anything round the house, he's all thumbs.
I wouldn't say that.
He's borrowed enough tools off Len Fairclough to build a blinking house. Well, let's face it, love. You're no Barry Bucknell, are you?
No, by the look of this dinner, you're no Fanny Craddock either.
Oh, of all the cheese.
Oh, no, you've done it now, our kid. Baked beans for you in future.
Oh, I'll get it.
The time is now 12:30.
Hello.
Scene in sport. A special roundup of soccer
What can I do
news.
for you?
We begin by covering the big football events of the day.
Well, what can I do for you then?
Well, I've come for them tools that I lent you.
Tools? I thought you said you were borrowing after the holiday.
Oh, no, that was the original idea, but I've suddenly decided I need them.
Well, can I borrow them over the weekend? I mean, I'm in the middle of a job for Val.
Well, no, really, it's my livelihood, isn't it? I mean, it's my bread and butter.
Yeah, well, all right, they're in the salon.
Aye, aye. Santa's still on his rounds.
What do you mean?
Gloves.
I bought them.
Oh, yes, of course, that's right, isn't it?
Well, then, here's your tools.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry to snatch them away as soon as this, you know.
No, it's all right. I think I understand.
Oh. Good. See you, Val.
Bango yourselves.
You've not finished your dinner.
I've had enough, Val, thanks.
I don't want to let him fake for you, Dave. He's in no position to go around preaching sermons to anybody.
He doesn't worry me. I'm just going out, that's all. And why should he want to preach sermons at me for, any road?
And then give over children and all.
Do you want out, or have you just come in here to hear yourself talk?
Give us a packet of fags.
Give us your money.
That young Bal is a deadbeat. Anybody who lets isn't worth a light.
Oh, you've got room to talk, haven't you?
Yeah.
Your dad's right, Irma. You want to listen to him.
Of course I am.
And who the heck's asking you?
And no more of your old book either.
It's all right, Mr. Ogden. I understand what it feels like. I've had a taste myself.
You've had a taste of what? What are you talking about?
There's none so blind as them as won't see.
Oh, roll on.
There's been all the papers in it in black and white.
Listen, I don't care, and if he has done it, well, good luck to him.
Yeah.
Can I have a few words with Irma, please, Mrs. Linley?
Well, I do.
What did you want, Dave?
Just a minute. Hang on a minute.
I'll see you after. I'm off in 10 minutes.
If I've out to do with it, you won't.
All right, Irma, about 1 o'clock.
And don't get perky with me, young fella.
Oh, leave him
And
alone.
you shut up.
David, I think you better go.
What is it you got against me, Mr. Ogden?
What have I got against you? Flipping it. What have I got? I'll tell you what I've got against you.
Take no notice of them.
Any footballer who'll take a handful of notes to throw a game isn't worth a carrot.
How do you know I did?
Football's a good game. And if you've got the skill to kick a ball about, you'll be satisfied with what you get. Never mind taking backhanders.
So you don't reckon to a bloke who stoops to pick up a bit of loose change, eh?
That's about the size of
It's
it.
a bit dicey coming from you, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, before you start reading me the rights act, you want to get hold of that lad of yours. What's his name? Trevor, isn't it?
You what?
From what I can make out, he had to leave Coronation Street pretty sharpish because of itchy fingers. So you get hold of him before you start coming it with me.
You keep your trap shut about our family and future, do you?
Skirting board, guttering, handrail, slopstone. Are you off your head, darling? Because Wormo won't pass that lot.
You let
Never
me
in a
worry.
month of
Let
Sundays,
me
he won't
worry
pass
about
that lot.
wormholes.
I know, but all the stuff you've got down there'll cost him a bomb.
When can you start?
Eh?
Next Monday?
Want to see the colour of Wormo's mum?
Oh, now you're just being flaming awkward, aren't you?
Well, see, darling, I don't go grafting for fun, you know.
Look, you don't think I'd ask you to do this if I didn't think you were going to get paid, do you?
Even Nina Sharples wouldn't get this out of Wormo. Do you know what he's like?
Yeah, I know what he's like 10 coats of varnish, as tight as well. Look, if I can get the OK out of him, will you start work next week?
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
All right, be round here on Monday with your little black bag.
You gonna see him?
Yeah, tonight. I'm going up to that big posh house of his in Ellesmere Park, and I'm going to go rat-tat-tat on the door.
Gonna roll your eyes and stick your chest out and waddle your hips?
No!
Good. It won't do you any good either, because he's past it. Now, Elsie, darling, if it was me...
Which it is not.
Oh, I don't know. I've done a good bit of renovating in my
Now,
time,
look,
you
you...
know.
Renovate what?
Yes, I've salvaged a few old wrecks in my time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Majestic ruins, dark cathedrals that need a lot of pointing.
You're going flipping mad, you are.
Elsie, darling, I suppose that's what it is it? I mean, if you want your guttering done, that lent Fairclough's the man for you. But if I want to...
You have got a one-track mind.
It's because, my darling, that I fall for your feminine charms. But Wormhole won't.
Well, I reckon by the time I finish with Wormhole tonight, he'll be very glad and pleased to do those repairs.
Elsie, shame on you. Because if you're thinking what I'm thinking, heaven help old Wormhole.
Aye, I'll give him a right roasting, I'll tell you.
The child is father to the man.
Hey?
Something the poet Wordsworth once wrote, Jack, dear.
You know, Mrs. Walker, I could listen to you go on all night.
I often have to.
Oh, Yes?
Hey, you've got such a wonderful way with words, you know.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Ogden.
Flowery, I'd call it.
Jack, dear, I'm well aware that literature is not one of your strong points, but please don't show your ignorance in front of the customers.
Customers?
You were saying, Mrs. Walker?
Oh, yes, I was about to remark that David Barlow has absolutely changed out of all recognition.
Ever since he went down to London. He was all right till he went down there.
I'm afraid I must disagree with you there, Jack.
If it's in him, it's in him. It's as simple as that.
Oh, precisely my own sentiments. The potential to evil must have been there all the time, lurking beneath the surface, waiting to reveal itself.
How much is that doggy in the... Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Perhaps she's chirpy, isn't she?
Oh, she is that.
A bit too chirpy, Jack. If you ask me, something unpleasant is about to happen.
Already has.
So there you are.
Yeah, I've just come in, love.
I thought I'd find you here.
Ah, well-
He's dead crafty, this one, you know. Goes out for a packet of fags and says he'll be back in 2 minutes. That were an hour and a half ago.
I don't know what you're grumbling about. Sure money I'm spending.
2 cherry brandies, please.
Yes, Mrs. Did you say cherry brandies?
I did. You do sell it, don't you?
Of course.
I think I prefer a pink gin, Ena.
Oh, what?
Well, Len Fairclough brought me one at Christmas. It were nice and all.
You're wearing kinky boots and singing Goldfinger down the bottom end of Rosamond Street next, won't you?
Len said I were the Scarlet O'Hara of Coronation Street. He were only kidding, of course.
Pay no heed to Mrs. Walker. It's her increased pension. It's gone to her head. That's if we ever get it. Sorry I've got no less.
Oh, that's quite all right, Mrs. Sharples. How are things at the mission?
All right.
And Vera, she's all right, I hope?
Last time I saw she was, eh?
Good. We don't often get asked for cherry brandy these days, you know, except on special occasions.
Judging from the dust on that bottle, I can quite believe you.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Sharples.
I mean, that bottle's never had a wax since Oldham Road went up 2 steps.
You forgot your change, Ena.
She'll be back with it.
She were quizzing you.
Well, I wouldn't have to get my map and compass out to fathom that out, would I?
It's all fixed then, is it? Have you got the house?
I will have after tonight.
Which one is it?
Well, now that's anyone's guess, isn't it? Who do you reckon?
I don't know, Ena. Is it Mr. Tatlock's?
No.
Is it number 7 then, where the Hewitts used to live?
That'd be a right traitor to take on an empty house, wouldn't I? You can take that look off your face, love, it's not yours.
Then whose?
Well, let's put it this way. When I've signed the papers and the house is legal in mine, there's one person in Coronation Street who are very glad her son's working, and there'll be no more trial marriages in my house, I'll tell you that.
Just let's get this fitted. Hey, I'll take that lot home for our Stan to add to his collection.
Aye.
Looks all right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, but if Wormhole doesn't come up for us, me and our Dennis will have to do a bit of decorating, won't we?
Oh, well, you can always shove the sideboard back, nobody'll notice. Hey, I tell you what, Elsie, you want our Stan on this game, you know. He believes in what he calls direct action. Never fails, neither. Last house we was in, we had a big crack in the toilet. Right down the middle of the pot it was. Every time you pulled the chain, it was like taking a bath.
What happened?
Oh, well, we kept on complaining to the landlord, you know, but he wouldn't do out. So one day, Stan got hold of the hammer and he knocked a big hole in it, broke the pot clean in two.
It sounds a bit drastic for me.
Oh, well, yard were flooded for a couple of days, but we got a brand new toilet.
Aye. Well, I better go and get my hands swelled and get my skates on.
Oh, you going to see this fella Wormhole now, are you?
Not until I've been in the rubbers for a drop of Dutch courage.
Oh, aye.
Hello. Where are you off to?
Just after the shop, love. Something Lucille forgot. Come along.
Oh, hello.
Evening, Miss Walker. Evening, Mrs. Sharples.
Hello, Mrs. Sharples. Usual?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Have you got lamps to water?
hey?
Put the fire in the select. She told me to light it.
All right, love, I'll see to that. You can serve Mrs. Sharples here.
What are you looking so cheerful about?
I think it's over. Something you're supposed to have said to Mrs. Walker at dinner time.
She's still on about that?
Well, I heard her creating to him about it.
Give him milk stout, will you?
Right.
You know, Annie Walker's a good enough woman, but she will put on her airs and graces. It does her good to take her down a peg or two at times.
You're all spruced up tonight, aren't you, Mrs. Sharple?
Yes, I've got a very important engagement on tonight.
Oh, aye?
You can take that look off your face. I have no intention of telling you who with.
Where the heck are you going?
For what I am about to do tonight, I receive an Academy Award. A gin and tonic, please. Do I look as if I haven't got to 8 minutes to rub together, Mrs. Sharple?
Well, you're not exactly clobbered up to the eyes, if that's what you mean.
But I am going to see Wormold.
Oh, he's the landlord, isn't he?
Aye, and when you want something doing, you don't get yourself all dolled up.
Oh, so that's what it's for. You're a tricky devil.
What sort of thing?
Well, repairs to that dump I live in.
Oh, it's hard managed, Wormold, Elsie.
Aye, it'd have been a lot harder and all if you'd seen me and Hilda pulling the paper off the wall just now.
You want me dad for that? He's a dab hand at that.
He would be.
Matter of fact, I've seen him, not him, but your mother, but no, I'll leave that till later. It's a bit drastic. We'll leave that till phase 2.
What sort of things does Stan Ogden do?
He just goes daft. He kicks the plaster off the walls, the handrails, door panels, ceilings, the lot. Belong everything. Cost the landlord a fortune.
Oh, I can imagine.
Well, why not? Soak 'em, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Well, that's what landlords are for, isn't it?
Oh, be a bit of a surprise, though, when he does see you.
Yeah, it will.
Do you think I look poverty-stricken enough?
Well, if you don't, you can always flake out on the carpet.
Aye. Pretend I haven't had anything to eat for 2 days. But ta-ra, wish me luck.
Right, right.
Good luck.
There's your change, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you very much, dear. By the way, Mrs. Lindley, I've been meaning for some time to ask you. Do you ever hear from that friend of yours, that Mr. Murphy?
Oh, Tickler? No, I don't, as a matter of fact. But I expect to sometime. Do you know, Mrs. Walker, he wasn't half as black as he's painted. He had his good points, did Tickler?
I'm sure he did. A bit of a rough diamond in some ways, but he was always extremely polite to me.
Do you know, I'm glad to hear you say that, Mrs. Walker. I was very fond of Tickler.
Well, it's like I always say, Mrs. Lindley, there's good and bad in all of us. Now, take young David Barlow, for instance.
Oh, Mrs. Walker, I'll order them pickles for you when the traveller comes in.
Oh, yes, if you wouldn't mind, Mrs. Lindley. Hello, Valerie. Not seen much of you and Kenneth at present, are we?
In the Rovers, you mean?
Still, I think in the circumstances, dear, you're both probably very wise. Goodbye, dear.
Hi. It's good, this. Yeah. You shouldn't have been looking all that about.
What's up, love?
Oh, nothing.
You tired, pal?
I just met Annie Walker. Oh, that woman gripes me. You mean as sharp as any day.
What happened?
At least she's blunt and to the point, but Annie Walker...
Oh, what did she say?
Oh, she made some crack about you stopping out of the Rovers. Made it sound as if you were scared to show your face.
Typical.
Ah, take no notice. What's it matter anyway?
It matters a lot. It's all right for you. You can pack up and leave whenever you want to, but we have to live here.
Yep. All right, Val, you've made your point. Where's my shoes?
I come in with you, Dave.
Oh, I didn't...
No, you're dead right, Val, you're dead right. My time this thing was sorted out, once and for all.
Yeah.
Get us another pint, Jack.
Sitting there, large as life, not a care in the world.
Really?
Well, I can't help feeling sorry for lad myself. I mean, after all...
What?
Well, after what he said about our Trevor, the way he mucked about with our Irma...
Here. Just you shut up about our Irma. She can hear every word you say.
I reckon it's pretty tough on Ken and Val. After all, it's no to do with them, is it?
Guilty by association is the correct phrase, I believe, to use, Jack.
Eh?
Well, I've always had the greatest respect for Kenneth Barlow, as you well know. But on this occasion,
You should kick him out. Definitely.
Blood's thicker than water.
Of course it is. What do you mean?
Oh, well, I've got something more important to do than bother about the Barlows, if the court will excuse me.
Well, by the heck, he's changed his tune, hasn't he?
I'm afraid Jack's mind is rather like a pendulum. It swings from one extreme to the other.
It's not the same as it used to be, though, is it?
You what? Did you say something, Mrs. Colwell?
Christmas. When I were a kid, we used to sing carols at St Mary's in Rosamond Street. And Mr Banks, whose wife ran away with the clubman, he used to lead the singing. Oh, but don't tell Ina that, though. She's very prejudiced about them things. If your dad had been in the forces and you had the papers to prove it, you could attend parties where they gave you a stocking filled with toffee. And you always got a brand new penny piece in it.
Hey, Irma!
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Colwell.
What do you want?
It's your dad, he's half cut.
So what? That's no fresh.
Well, he's brooding over what David Barlow said about our Trevor. And if he walks through that door, I'm telling you, there'll be blue murder.
Aye, and maybe he'll be back in a loser. David's not as soft as he looks, you know.
Hey, what are you talking about? He is your father, when all's said and done.
You picked him, I didn't. Anyway, you better get the sawdust down.
Evening.
Hello, Mrs. Ogden.
Hello.
2 light ales, please, Emma.
I thought you were supposed to wait for me at dinner.
I didn't think you want me to after what happened.
Ah, it wasn't your fault. He only got what he asked for. 2 light ales, he said.
Please.
Right.
Emma, darling,
Yeah?
don't forget to ask him for the money for it, will you?
Is that your beer there?
Aye.
Why don't you sup it before it clots?
Now then, Stan, forget it, he's only a lad.
Get off, will you? Get off.
Mr. Ogden, we'll have no violence in here, please.
You see what I mean, Ken? It wasn't his fault.
Oh, what exactly happened?
I just wanted a few words with her, Mum.
And my dad come down on him like a ton of bricks.
I want a word with you, young fella.
Barlow.
Eh?
Mr. Barlow.
You keep your nose out of this.
Now then, Stan, Len, get hold of him, will you?
No, it's his kale,
You
darling.
ought to stick on lemonade.
Just shut up.
Look, if it's about what I said at dinner time, Mr. Ogden, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it.
Now there you are, lads, apologise.
Oh, yeah, but it's not as easy as all that now,
Well,
is
then,
it?
what's going on here?
Aye, I'll be sorry if I take you outside and give you a leveling, won't you?
Oh, come on, Stan, be of age.
Like a big soft kid.
Here, don't you talk to your father like that.
Mrs. Ogden, please.
Look, I've said I'm sorry. Now, what more do you want?
You've no right to bring our Trevor into it.
Now, come on, Stan, you're half K-lad, you are.
Well, I mean, he always is.
If you don't shut up, I'll give you a backhander.
Don't you dare lay a finger on her, Stan Ogden.
Jack,
Just to handle
you
it
send
with
for
this,
the
you
police.
are.
Now, look, just pipe down, a lot of you, will you? Now, look, Stan, I don't know what our Dave said or what he didn't
Why
say.
don't you keep your big neb out of
And
this?
you can pack it in, Len.
Look, let's just stop talking round corners, shall we? Hey, what's involved here is not what David said about Trevor. It's this bribe he's supposed to have taken, right?
Head right, yeah.
Come on, kid. Let's sup up and get out of here.
Ah, it's the best thing you can do, no.
Go on, Chuck, go on home.
No. As Len said, it's not as easy as that, is it? Look, just what do you people want, anyway? It wasn't so long ago that I refused a bribe from Piggott, and what happened? I got treated like a leper. Now, David, my brother here, does just the opposite, and you...
Oh, it's all coming out now, is it? He admits that you took that backhander.
All this big brother act. All this... You worse than they are.
Dave.
Lying and pretending, and me thinking...
Can you cause enough trouble?
And none of you changed much, have you? Little people with little minds. Never happy unless you're turning somebody to pieces. Bribe? Oh, boy, I could tell you. What's the point? Even he doesn't believe me. And you lot, you're that busy with your noses in the dirt, you don't even bother to ask. You're all the same. All tired of the same brush. Shirt in the same trough, eating the same swill. You want blowing up, the lot of you.
Yes, well, I reckon that calls for another drink.
Right, well, you'll have to serve yourself, won't you? Mind.
Oh, no, you don't. You've caused quite enough trouble, you have.
Here you are. Now drink that, Mrs. Tanner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wormwood. You see, When you haven't got a fella to do things for you like that, it's different, isn't it?
Oh, of course.
You see, our Dennis is a good lad, but it's not the same, is it?
Well, have you made a list of all these repairs, Mrs. Tanner?
It so happens I have. Just by chance, I jotted them down all haphazard like.
That rather sounds like bronchitis.
Yes, it very possibly is. Not been in work since Christmas. Our Dennis is the same. It's the damp on them walls, you know. The paper just peels off.
Hey, rather a long list of repairs here, Mrs. Tanner.
Well, it all wants doing.
Ah, but, you know, this is going to cost a pretty penny.
Now, look, Miss...
Just 1 minute, Mrs. Tanner. But I agree with you. I'll accept your word.
You do?
However, there are certain complications.
What sort of complications?
Well, I'm no longer your landlord. The property has been transferred to somebody else.
When did this happen?
Oh, quite recently. So, I expect you'll still be wanting that. Oh, excuse me a moment, will you?
Well, don't say I've got to go to the flipping act all over again.
Oh, Mrs. Tanner, I'd like... Oh, of course you know each other, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
That case, allow me to introduce you to your new landlord,